Good morning, David. It is a great question. Basically, we are seeing, and I would say that carefully, we are seeing a slowly, decrease in the rate of infection. Not in the infections, but in the rate of infections. Because if we look at the R0, the basic, reproduction number of the virus, we're seeing a decrease from 1.35 to 1.18, in the past week. So these are, to some extent, good news. The current policy of the government is to try and maintain as much as possible, as long as, there's no overwhelming, arrival of patients in hospitals, trying to maintain as much as possible kind of routine. I don't know if it is not going to change when we open schools, but in the meantime, the situation, I would say, is tough, but to some extent under control. So we'll see, I guess, this week is going to be critical to see, one, the effect of the third dose of vaccine for the booster shot. Second, I would say, effect, and I'm a bit pessimistic, but the effect of some of the measures like, the green badge, the green passport that was enacted, a week ago, see those effects on the rate of progression of the epidemic.
Now, there have been various arguments made. You talk about the school year here. It's coming up soon on the country here, the start of the school year, at least the September 1st start date. There's been arguments that this outbreak hasn't harmed children to the degree that would force the schools to be closed. Or I would like to get your thoughts on just when and how the school year should start right now.
This is a good question. We have three possible scenarios. One is to start early on, as usual, on September 1st. Second would be 1 week after that, just after Rosh Hashanah, on September 8th. And there is another opinion to start that only on October 1st, after the whole holidays. I'll tell you the truth. Right now, if the situation is the same and we start to see a decrease in severe, or at least a stabilization in the severe patients in hospital, I would go for September 1st for several reasons. One of the reasons is that we need some training with the measures we are trying to enact. I'll tell you the truth. There was a recent poll that showed that parents, 50% of the parents almost do not understand what is going to happen in schools. So it is a problem, but I believe that today we'll have more information. But I do believe that only for the sake of trying to see how that new program for education is going to unfold, I do believe that we need to start on September 1st, if the situation is like what we're seeing today. If not, we can skip, I would say, the first few days and start on September 8th. But I think it is very important for our kids to go back to school. Our kids have suffered enough for a year and a half, and we have to do everything we can in order to have our kids, going back to school.
I think that's a widely held sentiment in the country here. Now, some reports, Dr. Cohen, are saying that parts of the United States are already announcing that vaccines will likely be rolled out for children aged 3 to 12 by September. We know the FDA is set to provide their formal approval for the vaccines, likely within the week. Do you think we'll see children under 12 years old getting the vaccine in Israel in the near term?
I don't think so. At least with the information we have right now, because what we know is that the FDA has requested a larger a sample of children being assessed, in the phase 3 clinical trial for those vaccines for the, I would say, 5 to 11. So I don't know. We're still waiting on those results. Generally, kids are not a population at risk. And I think that we need to be extremely cautious when we move to this age group. So I would say let's wait for the results. Let's have some proof that those vaccines are safe for kids, and then we'll be able to decide how to implement that in Israel.